Often friends made in high school, adolescents in high school are friends that are there for the rest of your life. So they learn in social situations. Their motivation comes from being in a group. So if we try and separate them, it's like we're punishing them. So making the most of that, giving them chances to talk over things and be with their friends and problem solve together, is making use of this desire to be together. Once they've found the group that they want to belong to, and they feel a part of it, they're loyal to that group. Loyalty to that group is huge, and they will band together against anybody else. And so, for instance, if something's happening in that group that you want to find out about, that I want to find out about, I don't go and talk to the group because they'll just say nothing. We're fine. It's all good. I have to talk to them individually, and even then, it's hard because they know that I'm going to talk to everybody individually, and it's in line with feeling emotions strongly. Empathy becomes huge. They feel each other's emotions. If somebody is sad and they're telling a sad story and they start crying, it's not unusual for the other adolescents close to them, especially the girls, to start sobbing as well. They feel each other's emotions so strongly that it's really easy for them to enter into that emotion. And so one of the things we have to teach them is to feel that empathy without going too deep, to protect themselves. As I said, romantic relationships begin. This is a time that they start to sort out who they're going to be attracted to. They're critical of each other and they're critical of the adults around them, especially if we don't do what we say. If we expect one thing of them and then we don't act in accordance with that themselves, then we are hypocrites, and they have no respect at all for hypocrites. So it's really important when you're with adolescents that you practice what you preach, that you do what you say. And it's also a moral and ethical age. It's an age where they develop a sense of moral justice, a sense of not a right and wrong. They do that in the 6 to 12-year-old age group, but the sense of this is how society should work, and this is how we should be in society, and if we can all be like this, then it will be just and right for everybody. That happens at this age. This is all what Montessori was saying nearly 100 years ago. She was saying that these are the kind of things that students need, and schools were not adapted to that. So she said, however many years ago, a long time, schools as they are today are adapted neither to the needs of the adolescents nor to the times in which we live. 1948. She said this a long time ago, and what's changed? So the children in this slide are sitting at desks. They're all sitting at the front where the teacher is. Actually, there's a teacher at the side looking at the people at the back. But everybody's in rows. Can they do anything else but sit and listen? And this is a slide of schools relatively recently, where, again, the students are sitting in desks facing the front, the teachers at the front talking and writing, and all they can do is take notes. While we have made progress in technology and in our living conditions and society, schools are really operating in the same way as they were all that time ago. In the beginning of this year, 2022-23, results were made public from the Taiwan Child Welfare League survey, and they surveyed 11 to 15-year-olds. And they found out these things from these 11 to 15-year-olds, that the average amount of sleep, 7.6 hours, when they need 8 to 10 hours. 26.3% got 60 minutes of exercise, less than 2 days a week. 15% said they felt lonely. So you see all of these statistics about our adolescents' lives today. It doesn't paint a good picture. A great thing was that 70% of students thought that school was a safe place to be. But that means 30% of our adolescents feel that they are unsafe at school. Montessori's solution for the adolescent is to take them to the country or by the sea, where they've got clean air and fresh food, hopefully that they've cooked themselves, where they have real and meaningful work that has got a purpose, and where they can create for themselves a microcosm of society which can be run along the lines that will meet their needs, not that they will have to fit into other people's needs. So their changing body requires good nutrition to help them grow well, and it requires plenty of sleep, as much as when they needed when they were 3, actually. And as I said before, usually they get less. In the second plane of development, with their curious brain and their reasoning mind, a student is eager to learn. They want to know everything. They want to know they want to be able to solve the biggest problems and ask the biggest questions. And that's not the case with the 12 to 15-year-old in particular, 12 to 18-year-old. That learning new things for the sake of learning new things is no longer a motivation. They want to learn things that are important, that are going to mean things to them, that are real, and they're going to help them be an adult. When we take them to the country and give them real and meaningful work, part of that is looking after each other in their society. So they live in a residence and they cook for each other every meal. And if they don't cook, they don't eat. Food is a big motivator for an adolescent. They have ravenously hungry bodies because it's changing and it's using so much energy. So food becomes a real motivation for getting work done. And through cooking, you learn all sorts of maths, all sorts of chemistry, all sorts of different kinds of science, especially if you grow the food yourself. But the motivation for learning that comes through meeting your needs and meeting your peers, your friends' need, because if you're cooking a meal, you want people to like it. So cleaning. No longer will their parents be there to clean up after themselves. Now they can clean up their own mess. So part of living together is also cleaning up after. So they clean up after they eat, but they also clean their bedrooms and their bathrooms, and their classrooms, the things that they use. We all clean together. The things that we all use, we clean together because we made the mess, so we should clean it up. And these are skills that they will be able to use for the rest of their lives. We all need to know how to clean a bathroom. We farm, as much as we can, we grow food. Vegetables cost a lot of money at the moment. Cabbages, which have been a staple of our diet, are now too much for us to buy. And so we're anxiously trying to see if we can grow them in our garden so that we can still have them when they cost so much. The act of gardening is a physical one which exercises their body and helps them gain control of it, a body that is changing all the time and that they don't know where it is. Gardening and moving, cooking as well, and cleaning and maintaining our environment helps them get used to this body. But it also provides motivation for learning science and biology and botany and physics and chemistry, because they aren't motivated just for the sake of doing it. In this little society that we have with our residences and our classrooms and our farm, we have created an organisation that the students can be in charge of, that they get to decide how it runs. Well, actually, we all get to decide together. There are some fundamental rules within which we function, but the students are a large part of deciding how we operate together. And they can do that with increasing levels of independence without needing an adult around with them all of the time. They know how to cook a meal without us. They know how to clean. They know how to go to the garden and use the tools in the garden. Usually we're with them, but we don't need to be. as they get more and more independent, they can do more and more on their own. And that's what their goal is, to be able to be able to do this stuff for themselves, to prove that they are capable people and that they can meet their needs themselves. And so Montessori says, take them to the country, take them to the sea, and have them live together. Have them be dependent on each other. Have them create a harmonious society through acting together, to being together, to contributing in a real and meaningful and valuable way. And through that, they will see that they have worth, that they have something that they can contribute and that others value.